So tonight we're here with Mauro, and I'd simply like to ask you, tell us a bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do.
Well, I do tattoos, and I have a professional studio located in Deauville, a charming town in Vicenza. I work there completely alone, so I don't have any assistants or any other kind of support staff like that. I've specialized a bit in realistic tattooing.
Can you tell me why you started to train in online marketing for tattoo artists?
Well, I initially started to train and develop my skills in this particular and specialized field of marketing because I deeply sensed that something significant within the specific and unique environment of the tattoo world, especially concerning the crucial process of acquiring new and valuable clients, was undeniably changing and evolving quite rapidly.
Okay.
The intuition remained just that, a mere intuition, because I simply didn't have the proper means to truly understand what the correct way was to effectively get into this complex system.
Okay.
And so I personally discovered Ink Media through some really engaging posts on Instagram, and I was immediately and genuinely interested in what they were doing. Yeah, of course, I commented, I went to watch the videos that Ink Media publishes, and from there I got in touch with them and started down this new path.
Okay. In fact, you had also booked the consultation directly, if I remember correctly, right?
Yes, I had booked the consultation directly.
Had you also considered maybe other courses, other companies, or used any in the past besides those from Ink Media?
In the past, I have personally used other similar services, not exactly comprehensive courses, but rather specialized agencies that consistently promised a fairly high and genuinely guaranteed client acquisition rate. That's why I told you that before contacting Ink Media, I did my research, because with the other two agencies, the results I got were, I wouldn't say zero, but not far from it.
I also remember, for example, that at the beginning, we were literally at zero in terms of appointments before starting the program. We were in a really slow month, if I remember correctly from what you told me, right?
It was quite a profoundly challenging and exceptionally tough period, whether this was because of various significant and impactful factors like the prevailing economic situation, or perhaps due to word of mouth that regrettably no longer worked effectively. So yes, the overall situation was indeed pretty difficult and quite problematic.
Okay, so what you didn't like about the previous situations was basically just the lack of results, right?
The significant lack of overall results, the general lack of support,
Right?
which is quite an exceptionally important thing to consider indeed.
Essential.
But quite obviously, the undeniable fact that there were not any truly significant or meaningful results was the primary and main reason why I ultimately stopped after such a relatively short period of time.
Okay, the collaboration ended, I think, pretty quickly. And how did you feel given this sort of, let's say, betrayal of your trust, even towards this area that you didn't know much about? Also because, as you were saying, you had relied on someone else precisely because you didn't know how to handle things yourself.
Well, obviously, these are indeed situations that truly make you invest your valuable time, make you invest your hard-earned money, and you certainly put all your hopes and aspirations in them, because that's precisely the fundamental reason you undertake certain things. So, and obviously, when you see that the results aren't there, you start to wonder, are you doing the right thing? Are you not doing it right? Is marketing always like this? Are there different ways? And those are all questions that you kind of leave hanging after you find yourself entangled and deeply caught up in these truly challenging and profoundly negative situations. It becomes considerably more difficult and genuinely harder to confidently approach other potential opportunities with a sense of genuine trust and open-mindedness, even when those very opportunities are clearly presenting you with promising and beneficial possibilities for growth and advancement. I want to clarify and emphasize that Ink Media never explicitly guaranteed me any definite or certain clients, but they consistently and reliably provided statistical data that clearly indicated a very high probability and strong chance of successfully acquiring new and valuable clients.
Okay. And had you heard of other people who were dissatisfied before in your same situation?
To tell you the truth, no.
Okay. And so why did you decide to trust Ink Media? Did these doubts and uncertainties go away thanks to both the protocol and the program?
Simply because with Ink Media, as I have always told you before, I was never given any empty promises whatsoever. From the very beginning, I was always consistently given clear and comprehensive information or detailed explanations that truly convinced me that the particular path I was taking was indeed the absolutely right one for me.
Okay. So let's say the doubts and concerns you had at the beginning gradually faded as you got more involved in the heart of the program, right?
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes. Also, the competence of the people within this company makes you feel at ease.
Thank you. Okay, great. So let's say the ultimate goal, the reason why you bought the Inc. program, what was it, Mauro?
Well, the primary reason I simply bought the Inc. program was that the initial course I purchased was simply no longer sufficient for me for my needs. It was useful, interesting, but I needed something more.
Okay, I understand. And since you joined, how have things gone as a result?
Well, things improved quite significantly right away. By right away, I truly mean that within just 2 short weeks, I had already started to clearly see the very first positive results.
Okay,
Now that a month and a half has passed, I can say that I'm working very well. I can say that I have found a path that gives me, so to speak, the certainty of having a continuous flow of clients. And this not only makes your work more rewarding, but it also gives you a sense of security because you see a stability ahead of you that allows you not only to work well, but also to invest in what you are doing.
absolutely. I completely agree with you. That said, just so we can get into the more interesting part, you're only in your first month with us, and in the first month, our goal was to double. Tell them a bit about what your average was, and let's also remember that at the beginning, unfortunately, Mauro was in a situation where, as we said, he was running out of appointments. Tell them a bit about your average. Tell me about the results from the first month.
Our primary goal, because that's precisely what you and I extensively discussed at the very beginning, was to effectively double my overall earnings. And this significant goal was successfully achieved within this current month, much to my immense satisfaction.
Absolutely. Basically, in about 27 days, yes, I have it noted here, we reached around 5K in total, more or less, your earnings. So the goal was achieved also because, if I remember correctly, on average, we were around 1,800, 2,000, right?
Yes.
Okay. And let's say, in terms of peace of mind, as you mentioned, what has achieving this goal allowed you to do?
Well, first of all, I have significantly extended my schedule. Consequently, my waiting times have now gone up to a full month or even a month and a half. And for me, this is already a truly excellent and very positive result, especially considering the challenging way things were before. This current situation genuinely gives me a substantial and comforting amount of peace of mind to work exceptionally well and to meticulously plan ahead for all of my upcoming and future appointments. Obviously, it's a job that takes time and it's probably rewarding precisely because of that.
That's normal. That said, just thinking about it, seeing yourself at the beginning with the schedule you had and looking at your schedule now, how does that make you feel?
Well, it truly makes me feel incredibly good, but above all else, it genuinely gives me the strong drive to want and achieve even more.
Great. A big secret is to never feel like you've arrived, Mauro. And that's also for everyone who will listen to this interview.
Okay?
That said, just because I wanted to congratulate you and wanted this little part to come out, in total we made 5,000 in the first month, in 27 days basically. Tell them a bit about the organic part. How long did it take for those 2,000 and something euros to come in?
So, the organic part of this whole endeavor was an absolutely incredible and truly delightful surprise. And you know it to be true. Let's just say that in approximately 25 to 30 minutes, there was an absolutely incredible and overwhelming influx of requests that came pouring in. In fact, we talked right after with great surprise on my part. So, yes, this thing worked amazingly well.
By the way, just to open a small parenthesis, by organic part, we mean applying the process between the request of messages between the story. So guys, this means that as you can see, all you need to do is apply the information and put in the effort. And as you can see, Mauro completed the first month and the results obviously show over time. This is the most correct thing, as I had already mentioned to you. So from this point of view, we can only be satisfied and aim even higher. So I really enjoyed betting on you, as I was telling you, Mauro. One last thing so we can wrap up and I'll let you go. Why would you recommend Valerio, Gianluca, or Ink Media in general?
Well, I don't want to talk about specific people because I got along with everyone. I want to talk about Ink Media because it's an agency, a company that truly believes in what it says and in what it does. And I think that's the most important thing. There's incredible support. I'd like to say it's 24 hours a day. If it's not, it's pretty close, but there's always this availability. In fact, in my particular case, even if I don't proactively write to you, It's consistently you who thoughtfully reach out to me to inquire about how things are genuinely progressing, because your profound passion is abundantly evident, and truly beyond that remarkable passion, there exists a great and exceptional professionalism that is extraordinarily helpful and beneficial. I truly think that this is also largely due to the truly great and significant commitment you have consistently put into thoroughly researching these particular things, and therefore I am completely and utterly satisfied with the outcome.
As I told you from the very beginning, the support is designed to be used to the fullest. We're there specifically for you. Okay. Finally, what would you say to a friend or someone close to you, obviously in the same field, who has had the same problems as you about whether or not to rely on ink media?
Absolutely. I genuinely don't want to just simply say trust Ink Media, but I strongly encourage you to contact them directly, and it will quite naturally lead you to fully appreciate their capabilities because, as I have consistently emphasized before, professionalism and profound expertise are absolutely fundamental and critically important factors that I firmly believe are especially essential and truly indispensable in the dynamic marketing sector. You certainly can't just improvise or make things up as you go along. And in the end, the tangible and measurable results will unequivocally speak for themselves, demonstrating their true value and effectiveness.
Absolutely. Yes, I completely agree with you. And that's also why we care so much, as you can see, about these very relaxed, very informal video interviews. So, with that said, I think we can wrap things up. In the meantime, you can get back to your projects and I'll take care of the rest with the other clients. Is that okay, Mauro? For now, let's say goodbye. Let's also say goodbye to everyone who will be listening. And let's kick off this second month at full speed and see if we can double the results again. Let's make sure of it.
It definitely will be.